Good morning, still in morning. Still, oh, if you only knew what happened in that break. Well, I'm not going to lie, I threw my toys out the pram. I did, honestly, genuinely threw my toys out the pram because we were ridiculously busy at 7 o'clock this morning. This first set, already limited stock. You don't even know what I'm talking about. Yes, I know, but we'll get there, don't worry. A limited stock already. This is a show where we're going to go back to basics. Now, we're not going to tell you how to suck eggs. That's not what we're here for. We're not here at all. We're here to tell you new techniques and maybe inks that you've never tried before. Okay, we did one of these shows, I say we, our Paula did one of these shows a couple of months ago, and it was a huge success because people don't really know what inks to use for what product, or you get stuck in the rut and you use the same inks time and time again. So we're going to break down everything you need to know about inks today. But if you want them on immediate dispatch, I would jump in now for your sets of blacks. I literally haven't got that many left, and I'm still waiting for buyers to get back to me to tell me if we can have any more. So really do shop ahead of me on this. I'm not alone either. No, we have the ink queen in the house herself. Yes, it's the one and only little pocket rocket. It's our Paula.
I thought that I was coming in and play snooker or something like that. That's actually, you know.
Ink queen. Well, you are though, because we laugh and joke at the top of the hour, but you've done one of these shows before,
yes,
as in previously a couple of months back, and they were so popular.
They are, and I have been asked to do it again because I think with inks is very confusing. And what I have done instead, I mean, you know, what I think it works, and a lot of people have responded very well, is telling you basically the things that you need to look out. Why it's oily, why you need to look if it's pigment or dye, whether it's oil-based, whether it's water-based, and we will talk about this and then explain why you want to have all 6 ink pads.
It is worth having a look, but I need to tell you now, the ink pads that I've now got in front of me are now a technical sellout. It's now a technical sellout. So what's going to happen now is I'm not too sure. Did we manage to get some more, Charlotte? We have managed to get some more. Oh, we're early. The buyers are in. It's on a 2 weeks extended delivery now, but it's worth waiting for, isn't it, Paula? Because what you're getting in this kit is a bit of everything.
It is a bit of everything. And you said at 7 a.m. very good point. It's like these ink pads, they're small, but they're mighty, but also make a perfect Christmas stocking filler. Now, I was saying that my mom is a crafter and she's always having issues with inks, and a lot of people do as well. Getting that bundle is perfect because you are getting 6 very different inks, and they go through everything. So shall we go?
Let's go through. Let's start at the top with the versafine, and we'll work our way down the board.
Okay. So by the way, the boards are on Facebook. So both Adam has them on Hochanda.
Adam, it's on Hochanda TV. You've got them on yours.
Yeah, I have got it and crafting on Hochanda as well. So you can download them and print them out. Right. So basically, in here, what you are getting is the first one is versafine. Now let's talk about also Tsukineko, the manufacturer of all these ink pads. Now Tsukineko came up with versafine, which is a quick dry and pigment ink. Now that will give you amazing results for fine detail. Now it's a very sharp black because it's pigment and also it's oil based. Now all these inks are also archival and acid free, so perfect for your art journaling memory books. Now also stays wet long enough for a couple of minutes so you can use it with embossing powders. Then we have got Brilliance. Brilliance is a sponge pad, pigment pad, but it's been designed mostly to dry also quickly, but it dries amazingly on vellum. Now, other pigment pads will not dry on vellum because the composition that they have got. This one will. Also works amazingly on wood, and also is a fabulous one to give you that direct to paper technique because of the sponge pad. Then we have got a Saison. A Saison for me is one of my all-time favorites.
I was doing so well, Paula. I was doing so well.
Well, you know what? You make me feel so much better.
It's
because,
not you.
You know. So a Saison is, like the name says, it stays on. It stays on the surfaces that are tricky, the non-porous surfaces. Acetate, metal, also glass, paper, Obviously, always test them first. It will work. Now, it's a dye-based and permanent solvent-based, which means perfect for your watercolor markers.
Nice. That's what we're looking for. If you want to do watercolor markers, it's the stays on you need. Well, there's so many more that you can use for this as well. Right then, versacraft up next.
Yes, it is indeed one of, well, if you know painting, you will know that, of course, Kathy uses all the time. Now, this one was designed for fabric stamping, which means that it will, once you heat set it onto fabric, will become permanent and you can wash it on natural fibers. Now, then you have got also, because it's pigment water-based, you can still play with it while it's not heat set, and you have got a lot of techniques about it as well. Now, again, archival and acid free.
So that's your versacraft. Versamagic up next.
Now, Versamagic is one of the unsung heroes. I use that one a lot for direct-to-papers. It has got a matte finish. Also, this one is the one that if you have got fine paper, use this one because it does not bleed through the papers. And then, of course, it's pigment and it has got that sort of matte finish. Then, finally, we have got Memento. Now, Memento is dye-based, but it's dye-based, but also water-based. So if a StazOn was alcohol-based, this one is water-based, which means that we can use our alcohol markers with it.
So in theory, what you're getting for £11.99, you are getting a bundle where you can go from your most porous of surfaces, to your woods, to your leathers, to your vases, if you so wish, to your vellums, to your acetates, to your fabrics, to your super smooth, to your cardstock, to your water cardstock as well. Everything you have got in one little kit. Now, I asked the question at 7 o'clock. I'm going to ask the same question again. I apologise if you're watching both hours. We have new viewers every single time. I know what you're thinking because it's the first thing I thought this morning. £11.99. I see what they've done here. I see what they've done. They've given me little ink pads. It's like a little tester kit. Little tester. So we only get about 3 stamps out of them. Then they want us to buy the big ones. Obviously, £11.99. Is this the case?
No, absolutely not the case. Because one of the things is, like you were saying, well, a small pad. However, if you look at here, you can see it. You were showing before. That's the raised pad. All of them have got raised pad, which means that doesn't matter how big or small the stamp is, I can ink it all perfectly. You can see it here. I mean, I'm not going to stamp it now, but you can see there how it goes. Now, I have had, a versafine on his blacks this size for about, I don't know, maybe 10 years, still works. Now, there are also, for blacks, there are re-inkers of all of them. So we don't have them at the minute, but I'm working on them. So even if you thinking, oh, I will use them a lot, I will need re-inkers, there is a possibility. Then there is the other thing. For instance, Brilliance, I prefer it into a small pad. Why? Because I can take it to my wood, I can take it to my stencils. Whether if it was a bigger one, I wouldn't be able to. Now, the shape of the petal shape as well means that you have got that pointiness. So that way you can drag it and create different designs directly to paper or wood or a stencil or whatever you want to do.
It's worth having a little look. 20% of the already extended stocks on a 2-week extended delivery. Now, don't let that faze you. They're worth getting hold of. For this sort of money, I'd be buying 2 or 3 if it was me. 264732 is your item number. Then from here, as I said, we are going back to basics with this. We've now got your Versaclair, your Versamark, and your embossing powders on the show as well. Now, it's like a little starter kit that we've got here, isn't it, Paula?
Yeah, so basically what happens is that we have talked about black, different ones, and we have talked about Versafine being a very good one. Now, Versafine Clair is a reformulation of Versafine, just slightly. It has got a firmer pad, which many of us prefer it, so it gives you even more result, more fine details. It's oil-based and it's also pigment. It has got a hybrid nature to it. They suspected that it has got a little bit of dye base in there to make it a faster drying as well. Now, the other thing is that it's perfect for embossing. Now, black embossing powder gives you a lot of flickers. Now, a lot of us like to do stamp into black and then clear embossing powder, and that will give you sharp black because of the ink pad in the bottom, but then the glossiness of the embossing powder. Then Versamark is the first embossing pad that it was designed for Watermark. It's an oil base, but it has no pigment. So if you open it up, you will have a completely clear sponge pad in here. So that will, what will make is that, of course, you can see there, it will give you a watermark effect, but also stays wet enough for embossing powder. And now, because of both natures, I put a pot of embossing powder there, because clear is one of those ones that, yes, almost everybody might have one, but you want to have a crisp white or an open one when you want to have the best results. It contaminates quickly, so you want to have a brand new for those prestige cards that you are going to make.
It's worth having a little look at this little bundle as well. £13.99, 459961 is your item number. There's so many more things that we've got on the show. We've got a pick and mix on StazOn. We've got a pick and mix of versafine Claire. But what I want to do before I show you and sort of confuse you with a pick and mix of different colours. Let's stick with the basics. Let's stick with the blacks that we've got here so far. And Paula's now going to go through the techniques of what ink will do what with what. It will all make sense. Remember, everything that Paula's about to tell you is also on board so that you can download as well from the Hochanda, Crafting with Hochanda page and Paula's page and my page as well. Right, Paula, let's do this.
Right, so basically, let's start. Now, I'm not going to do the experiment with the dye and the pigment, but you can see it, the first thing that we did this morning. I just shown it a few times. The boards, why did I do them? Well, basically there is two different ways of colors. There is, and that comes from prehistorical times. Already our ancestors were using pigments and dyes. Now pigment, the difference between pigment and dye is that dye is kind of dilutes itself into liquid and then soaks into the fabric or materials that you have got or the paper. Now that makes it faster drying because it seeps into it. Now pigment is like a tiny color dust particles that disperse but never dissolve into liquid. What means is that the pigment has to sit onto the surface. So the binding and the vehicle takes a little bit slower to fix it in because it might, So these are the two kind of elements that we have got, pigment and dye. So slower drying, the pigment is more opaque, so it will work better on darker cards, and dye is faster drying and translucent. We move on to the next boards, and then here we have got the pigments, but then we have got the vehicle, the base, the thing that kind of holds it together to transfer it. This is what will evaporate, but of course this is important. Why? Because water base, oil and solvent, they all do different things. Solvent evaporates very quickly, it dries very quickly, but it also means that it will work perfectly for non-porous surfaces. Then we have got oil. Oil is medium drying, it's perfect water resistant because oil and water don't mix. Yeah. So that is what it resists the water, therefore it's perfect for watercolor mediums. And water, of course, is perfect for alcohol markers. Now, is water reactive if it's not permanent? So our distress inks are not permanent. If you have got like versacraft and things like that, and are water-based, they will be able to expand it, and of course, but once that they are set, once they are permanent, then that's it, they will not react with water. Okay. Right, so we have got that principle, and then we have got the board with most of the ink pads that I know of. There are some that are hybrids, hence why they are between lines. For instance, the oxide is dye and pigment, so it's between them, and you can see here where it gets a little bit confusing, but at the same time print it out. I have had people that messaging me on Facebook that they have been stamping for years, and they say this has made sense to them, so they can print it out. Now if you are going to use a water-based medium, so watercolors, you cannot use any of these ones because they are they're going to blend into one. So oil or a solvent. If you are going to use alcohol markers, like our Phil Martin's alcohol markers, what you need to use is water-based because that is the opposite of solvent. So that's how we do. And I have made also this board that explains it a little bit quicker. So it literally is like vellum and parchment, use one of two, fabrics, versacraft, alcohol marks, memento, water markers, well, versafine Claire or a StazOn, and explains it exactly what you need to do. And I hope this will help you. You can download it as well. There are other surfaces compatibility charts as well, but I think this is more confusing because that's more like, I like something clear, big, and it kind of helps me out. Now, also, I need to say that with all the inks, and we were mentioning that blacks is actually a very difficult color to create. So you will see that the intensity of these blacks changes a little bit. And the way that I'm going to show it to you, and this is what you can all more or less use on paper, but I use here over a stencil. Now here, can you see the intensity of this black and the intensity of this black?
Yeah, they're like, one's like a grey.
Exactly. So that is dye because it has seeped into it.
And it goes, surface.
And this is pigment with brilliance. So that is a much sharper black. Hence why it's good to have them. Also, the other thing I will say with these pads, it's like when we want to learn about ink pads, we kind of thinking, oh, I bought this one, I bought that one 3 years ago. And when you go to compare them, you are comparing a 3-year-old pad with a brand new, and this is not going to be like for like. This is why it's so good to go for a 6 ink pad all at once, because then you can compare it exactly their nature, so you will know it. For instance, this is on vellum, and you can see here, I use Brilliance, and it dried beautifully onto it, and you can see the transparent nature of the vellum. Then what I have done here is I have used, this one is Brilliance. Can you see that it's a little bit darker black?
Yeah, it's like a pop of colour.
It does, doesn't it?
It really pops the black.
It's just such a strong black. Whether this one is the versafine, Versamagic, that has got a slightly duller. Now, of course, you will think, well, why do I want them both? I want you to experience the nature of black. Black is not a color. It's almost impossible to replicate because it's basically a mix of different colors that you have to achieve it. It's the absence of light, black. So therefore, you will have, when you want a sharper black, when you want a softer one, that's when you kind of choose them. Then acetate. Well, acetate is non-porous, so what we need to do is our StazOn. Whether you are using a gilding flakes, whether you are using the stencils, whether you are using the StazOn to create the colors. I created those colors with the StazOn, the colors that we have got. And you can see in here that then you can clean up a little bit and then add some color to the wings. So there are so many possibilities.
It is worth having a little look at these, and if you're thinking, well, I've got a Brilliance already, or I've got a Memento already, but so what do I need another? It's like tyres on your car.
Yes.
If you get a brand new tyre on your car today, it's going to be brand spanking new. If the other 3 that are on there, you may have already had for a few years, so they're going to be old and worn. They'll still do the same job. They'll still get you from A to B. But if you've got brand new tyres on there, you know they're going to last you that little bit longer. And that's what we've done with the set of blacks that you got here. Over a third of the extended stock now has already gone £11.99. The easiest way to remember, as I remember, Memento, that you've got on there is for your alcohol pens. I know Phil Martin absolutely adores his Mementos and his brand new pens that you've got on there. Me, I'm into my watercolouring and my watercolour pens that you've got on there. So I use versafine is what I use on there as well, because fine, water is fine and things like that, so then it's so easy for my water brushes. All these menus and all the charts are all online. Do not worry, it's very easy for you to do. And I hope this just gives you a little bit, if you've got a question, if you've got any question whatsoever, email me in. Email me in now, studio@hochanda.com, and we'll ask Paula. It can be anything. If you think it's a ridiculous question, there's probably 10 other people thinking the same question as well, including myself. So please do email in. And StazOn, basically, will do everything else in the middle. Everything. So if it's non-porous, if it's like a ceramic tile, your StazOn will do it. It'll take longer to dry, but it'll get there eventually. Go for it, £11.99, 264732 is your item number. From there, we've also got demos this hour on this as well. This is your Watermark and your embossing powder, and also your versafine clay as well. It's well worth having a little look on these. I'll start that again. 459961 is your item number. £13.99 for a nice little set. Once again, a very nice giftable that you've got in there. It is a good start on your embossing journey if you've never tried it before. Right then, if you want a splash of colour in your life, if you're thinking, Black's all well and good. I'm loving the blacks, but I sort of know my way around and I'd like a few more colours to add now. So I'm going to go for a black. I understand what Paula said. I'm going to go for a black and I'm going to go for some other colours. But what colours shall I choose? First of all, go for the colours that you enjoy, because they're the colours that you're going to use the most. It's all right, Paula, using reds and greens and yellows, but if you don't like them, you're not going to use them. So go for colours that you enjoy. The top two shelves that you've got on here are the brand new colours to Hochanda. We've not had these colours before, so the first two shelves are brand new to us. Some beautiful colours that you've got on there. Bluebell, medieval blue that's on there as well. Twilight Paradise that you've got on there. Fallen Leaves that you've got on there as well. Summertime is another new one to Hochanda. The bottom two shelves are our good old favourites that we all know and love. Golden Meadows in there. Charming Pink, Purple Delight. I can show you the boards to show you what they all look like. That you can see on there as well. The ones with the, I don't know if you can see the little dots on your telly at home, but the ones with the little dots next to them, that's more reference for me, but these are your new colours. Okay, TV magic's how I remember stuff. But these are all your new colours that you've got here, okay? So just so you're aware at home, I absolutely adore these. £14.97. Very busy this hour now. You can choose any three of them for £14.97. And as we said before, these are the oil-based ink pads. So these are going to be good with your watercolours and things like that. So if you're doing your watercolours or your watercolour pencils, these are the ink pads to go for, because they're going to let you blend all that water and they're not going to smudge the edges. On the flip side of that coin, though, maybe you want a permanent look. Maybe you're going to go onto your glitter card. Maybe you're going to go onto your acetate. Maybe you are going to stencil that ceramic tile that you've been meaning to do for years, but you can't find the right ink to do it. StazOn is the way to go. This time it's pick any four of the colours of your StazOn ink pad that you've already got here. As we showed you this morning, it will work on glitter card. That is your glitter card that you've got there. It will also work on your shrink plastic, and the colour will be so intense, it'll be absolutely beautiful. The same stencil now on acetate that you've got there as well. How beautiful is that? So you can now, no pun intended, you've got, that is absolutely stunning, but you've got it on your acetate. That is with your StazOn that you're looking at once again. Beautiful range of colours. Remember, it's a solvent alcohol-based. So when we say alcohol-based, Paula, we're now talking pens?
Water-based pens, yeah.
Watercolours again. Oh, yeah, watercolours, because it's alcohol. You see, alcohol, exactly. Watercolours, opposite end of the spectrum.
Absolutely. Because
solvents at one end and watercolours at the other, so opposites attract, as it were, so that's where we're going with that. It's a fast-drying ink as well, which we actually, just drying because it's transparent and fluid. I love them. I'm really getting into these inks now. Over the last few days, I've been really looking into inks, so I'm going to try my own Christmas paper this year. We've got some questions coming in about where you can find the boards and the buds. So, Crafting with Hochanda on Facebook. They're on there. They've just been put on there. Our Paula's just put them on there. Paula's personal Facebook, yeah, they're on there as well. And they're also on my work Facebook as well. Adam Humphries on Hochanda TV. I've put them on there as well. All the charts are on there. You will go and find them. They are all there. Do not fear. So there are your StazOn. Well worth having a little look at these and well look at the colours that you've got in there. Very intense colours that you're getting as well. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful colours. I love that. I love this cloudy sky in there and the violet.
It's a very good one. It's the grey one, and it's a very, very nice too, especially when you want to stamp a sentiment, because that's the other thing. Stamping over acrylic paint, that will work really well. So you want a softer tones, those will work very well.
I like them. I like them a lot. £14.99 is what you are looking at for that as well. 873007 is your item number. Up next is your Memento. So now Memento, we're now talking, so this is water-based. So what does that mean? I'll give you a minute. Well done. You can use your pens on it, because it's the other end of the spectrum. So they're water-based, so now means you can use all your Phil Martin's pens and your alcohol pens that you've got at home as well. They're dry-based, but you're getting all of these. This is not a pick and mix like we normally do. Pick your favourite 11, and there's 12 of them. This is a full set. We're very good at that here. Pick your favourite. You get all of them. All the colours that you're getting there as well. You're getting Orb Cottage Ivy. I love in this as well. I love London Fog. There's something about the greys. It's very in colour at the moment. Greys, greys and mustard. It's
especially in my head.
Never. You look very chic these days, Paula. You are very chic. I'm loving it. Loving it. Very un naturel.
Definitely that.
Me and you both.
Yeah. You are just genetically gifted.
Grecian 2000 and a lot of haircuts. £19 and 99 pence. Wonders what you can't see on this telly. 937863 is your item number. Then we've got our little daubers that we've got here and your cleaners. These are phenomenal.
They are. I mean, to be honest, I would say one thing. It's like, am I the person that cleans always the stamps? No, I'm not. However, I have had a Saison cleaner since the first, since it first came out, which it was in the early 2000s, and I always have got it. Why? Because it's a phenomenal cleaner to get rid of any Saison, because the Saison will stay on to rubber and, of course, photopolymer. Now, I will say, don't use a Saison cleaner onto photopolymer. If you do by an accident, it's not a problem. You can always wash the stamps to get rid of any residue. How photopolymer is made is with some solvent to get rid of some of the excess, so therefore you don't want to overuse it. But however, a Saison cleaner is perfect to get if you have made a mistake. If you have a stamp, a Saison onto acetate and it has a slide, use a Saison cleaner to remove it. Also, I use it to clean all my tools as well, crafting tools. The stamp cleaner, the other one, is a general one, so that one I will use it on my photopolymer stamps as well.
Well, it is worth having a look. And for £12.99, does it last a while?
Oh, it does. I mean, my first one, it lasted about 6 years. And I am a professional crafter. So I mean, I put it between brackets, but you know. But what I mean is, it's my day job.
That's going on a LinkedIn page, professional crafter.
But what I mean is, I work I use it
every day. You use it every single day, so it's going to last a while. Obviously, it all depends how much you use it. It's the same with your ink pads. If you're going to use them and use them and use them and use them, eventually going to run out. But they do last you an awful long time. And you also get 3 sponge daubers just thrown in willy nilly because we can. 12. You get 6.
Yeah.
We get 6 daubers. Oh, we only had 3 this morning. Oh, we had a blue one this morning.
You have one for each finger and then one extra.
Well, you see, you can walk around with all your little daubers on your fingers, like little. You get 6 daubers, £12.99. Well, I never. Hose me down. Call me Brenda. 452943 is your item number. We've had a question in from Lisa. Thank you for your email, Lisa. She doesn't have Facebook. Can they go on Paula's blog?
You know, I don't have the login details for my blog. No, but however, on Hochanda's website is there. So it's somewhere. It's if you go to, I think on Hochanda's blog is there.
The best thing to do, Lisa, love. Charlotte, have we got Lisa's email address? I'll email her after the show.
Okay.
Write down your email address. Lisa, email me back in saying you don't mind me having your email address, and I will email you them personally, okay? It'll be from some work account. It'll be from someone's account. It won't be from mine. But it'll be from there. Don't worry. We'll get them to you. Just let me know when we're allowed your email address, and I'll ship them off to you this afternoon, straight after the show.
Absolutely. And we can send them even,
Yep, we'll
right.
do it.
So, okay.
Oh, we've got to do the website, apparently. Oh, Charlotte, get to the website. Let's jump to the website, shall we? Oh, we're going to talk about Tack and Peel. I love this, Paula. Talk me through Tack and Peel.
Oh, Tack and Peel is such a good product. Again, it's one of those products that I bought as a customer. Well, actually, everything that is on the show, I have bought it as a customer, paying full price for them. What it is, the Tack and Peel is a phenomenal kind of cushion, transparent film. Now, one side is permanent. It's a high tacky, so you attach it to the back of or any acrylic block. And then on the other side has got the, if we can show it here, maybe it's a bit better. So it comes to you and you're gonna get 2. Now you remove the the yellow one. That is the tacky one that you will attach to your acrylic block. It is better to measure your acrylic block, then cut it around it, then remove the yellow backing, and that will attach permanently to your acrylic block. Then you remove the film here. Now, in the other side, what you have got, and I show you this because this one is mine, and it has been mine for, I've been using it for many years. This side becomes tacky. Tacky as such that it means that, your acrylic, not photopolymer, but the acrylic stamps, these ones that are a bit kind of, you can feel it that they have lost its tackiness. I mean, you can see it here. These ones come off sometimes from, you can see it here, it's kind of coming off. Whether I put them onto my Tack and Peel, and not only I can see through it, but also I can have it attached to it. And then when it comes to the end, I kind of remove it. Now, if you have got a mounted red rubber or gray rubber and you don't want to buy expensive cling foam mount, this will also work for it. So it will save you money in the long run.
Worth having a little look at this. Well, it's worth having it in your little stash. If you've not got some already, it's well worth having it in your stash for when those rubbers do slightly go. £12.99, 448869 is your item number. We've also got acetate on the show as well. 3 different sizes of your acetate. You're getting 5 of your A4, 10 of your A5 and 5 of your A3s for £12.99. So if you're using your acetate, you're going to need your stays on.
Absolutely.
I'm learning this, I'm getting this.
Yeah.
Then your shrink plastic, you're also going to need stays on as well because it's a non-porous surface. We've got shrink plastic, we've got clear and frosted on your show, £11.99, 049654 is your item number. We've also got stamps on the show as well from Artist Impressions. It's well worth having a little look at these as well. They're a cracking little bundle, they are today, and they're a good little price, £16.99. All the stamps that Paula uses during this hour will be from one of these collections. Do not worry about it. The quickest and easiest thing to do is have a little look on the website for you now. Right then.
Yep, so I'm going to start using the funky, quirky bird from Art Inspiration. So I'm going to use the largest one. And also I'm going to use Watermark. Now, I have said that I have been a user and I have paid for all these products in the past as a, as a customer, as a crafter. And I have got more than 2 Watermark pads. Now, if that's the case, I would say it still is good to get a brand new one, because now I have shown the brand new one, it will come to you like this, completely clear. But after you have used it a few times, a few years, it becomes a bit like this. Oh. So to avoid this, just make sure that you clean your stands before you're using Versamark, hence why the cleaner is such a good thing. But if not, be like me, have 2.
You've got a dirty one and a clean one.
Yeah, exactly. So depending what technique I'm using, I will reach for one or the other. So that, don't worry. So I'm going to go in. Now, with this one, I just want to show you the Watermark. In this case, it doesn't really matter if it's dirty or clean, but I'm kind of going to go in because I don't mind to... Here I have got like pinks and grays. Now, if I had white paper and I wanted to stamp onto it, and then to put clear embossing powder, I would definitely reach the one that is cleaner. Now, if you don't have a Versamark pad, don't worry, one will do it, but just be careful and cleaning your stands before you're okay. Now, then you have got here, and then you can see here that, can you see a little bit how it's darkening? Now, you can go a second time. I'm going to go in with, and then kind of go in here, and kind of go in. By the way, I think somebody has put on the Hochanda page the link to the blog, but I just don't have it. They didn't send it to me directly.
We're going to have a look for you now. We're getting a lot of emails in saying you don't have Facebook either. We are going to find a way around this.
Yeah, look at that. I mean, I adore this kind of dark, the softness of here. So beautiful. It makes a lovely background into it. So this is a Watermark effect, so it's perfect for backgrounds. But then the other thing that you can do while it's sticky is kind of bring in your, you can bring your perfect pearls or your kind of, you bring your perfect pearls, or these ones are, which ones are they called, these ones? Linda's Gang. And then, of course, kind of go in with softy. And what it does, can you see it if I turn it over there? It catches. And you kind of, when you remove the excess, can you see that the pattern is in there because it has grabbed the pearlescent nature. So you will have a little bit of a deep bit of a tone, and then you have got that. I mean, it's not the best. Yeah, there you have it. It's very subtle.
The difference from the top to the bottom.
Absolutely.
So is that the same? Is that like a mica, Linda's Gang?
It is.
Like,
it is a mica.
Powders?
Absolutely. It's a mica powder. It's a pearlex. It's a kind of pigment and mica, which is another pigment, which is the pearlescent kind of nature of it. Now we have got another technique with Versamark. And that is to do the, I love this technique. Now, I remember as a craft, sorry, kind of making a mess. I'm typical Paula.
You're a crafter, this is what you do.
Yeah, trying to be clean and it doesn't work. Right, so we're gonna, yeah, a little bit filthy. Anyway, the minute. Right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take another of Art Inspiration stamps, and this one is the Floral Bee. And I'm going to take my massive bee in here. Now, again, you can see that it's a little bit dirty, my stamp. So you want to, for this technique, you really want to make sure that you have it as clean as possible. Now, it stays on kind of, you can see it here that it's a little bit, you know, not the best. But you want to have it as, you know, you want to have it as clean as possible, but you can see that it's clean, it hasn't transferred, it's just the same. And then you kind of stamp it. Now, I'm using Clarity Satin card, the Clarity card. Now, Clarity has been doing this card for years and years and years, and this technique is one of those ones that I have learned from Barbara herself. Now, you kind of see it like this, and you cannot see anything but a little bit. Let's put it there. Can you see that? That's the oil. There is no pigment. It's just pure. The oil obviously is not just oil. It's oil designed for papers, and of course, it's alcohol. It's archival as well. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my piece that I have got here prepared. Now, I have masked it. I have stamped it before it. I think it should be fine. If not, I have got this one as well here. And then I'm going to take my roller, and then I'm going to take. Right, I'm going to test you. Now, this is oil. What ink will resist oil?
So, oil, we need to resist, brilliance, memento?
Yeah, memento, brilliance would also, but memento is the better one because it's dye, so it will kind of sieve into even better. Perfect, you're kind of, yeah. So it's
another gold star.
Yeah, so what you can do is you can go in with the roller, and I have got here one of the Ranger. I think this one is the 4-inch, and then kind of go in. Oh, this one. Sorry, this one has dried a little bit. So let me put it that one as well here. The one that I just done. Sorry, I covered them. There. Can you see how it kind of is coming out of it? It's not kind of sticking as much as the other one. Now, this one, I have got one ready-made, so you can believe what I'm doing.
I believe,
because it's not kind of coming out as well as I did it when I home. Can you see it there? A little bit. See, I think I need to let Barbara do the techniques and not here. Can you see the resist? You can see it. Yeah, that's. I was kind of just thinking, what's happening? Yeah, just got me. It's just like, but you need to roll it. And then you need to, I was like panicking, this is not happening. And then it's just like, yeah, it is happening. Yeah. And then you go in and you kind of just make sure that you roll it. This is really literally unhinged, come in and hinge. But you need to kind of let it kind of more ink and more ink. They're all, anyway, just moving on.
It's
you
nice.
Can see,
no.
You can see it here.
There we go, look.
This is what it is. That's more contrast, isn't it? I mean, you still can see it, but you cannot see it. It's just that this roller is kind of course coming apart and everything. But this is using memento. I'm just blaming the tools, which is not, yeah. You can see it here, the more contrast, but you can see it here. Anyway, that's a technique that you can do.
No, I like it. And remember, that's using, is that using shiny card?
Shiny satin card. Not glossy, but satin. So it's between porous and non-porous. It's kind of in between.
In the middle, so you want to sort of go with your middles with your inks when we look at this now. We are busy with thousands of emails pouring in. Just bear in mind, there's only me sending emails out. Okay,
I
and
can
I'm
do
doing it
that
off my
as
own
well.
bat.
Yeah, I'll help you out.
We will sit there. We will do something. It may just be a link that we send you. And I apologise now if they're not the nicest of emails. Like, I can't say, oh, hi, how are you? I hope you're well. Because we're talking about 250 emails at the moment that we're talking about. So we'll get something to you. Do not worry, I will get them to you personally, and Paula will as well. Right, your inks that we've got here, we're very busy for these as well. Over 50% now of the stock has already gone. £11.99 of the extended stock. 2 weeks extended delivery. What is 2 weeks between friends? 14 days is nothing. £11.99 is what you're paying for these. If your budget would go for it, I would go for 2. Then you've got a good set that you can keep to one side, and then you've got a set you can use and play with. And if something does happen to them, you've always got a set to back yourself up as well. 464, I'll start that again. 264732 is your item number that we're looking at the moment as well. 7th of December is when it will be extended delivery to the 7th door on your advent calendar. So you have a little go of that if I was you, because you're getting everything that you're in there. Something else that you're getting as well, which is well worth having a little look at, is your versafine Claire in your black and your Versamark in your embossing powder. Are we doing this one next?
Yeah, if we can do the embossing.
It's up to
Yeah,
you.
yeah, absolutely. We can do.
We'll have a little go just because everyone's seen embossing before, but we'll show you the 2 techniques that you've got here for £13.99. As Paula said, if your budget would go for it, what would that be? 26, 27, 28. About £28, you would get 2 sets of this. Means you'd get 2 sets of embossing powders, and then you would get 2 of these. A clean one and a dirty one. Obviously they will both be clean when they come to you, but then you've got the best of both worlds for just shy of £30. Well worth having a little look at that as well. 459961 is your item number. Pick and mix up next. Oil-based pick and mix is what we're looking at. This is your Versafine Claire that we're looking at here now as well. Beautiful colours. The top 2 rows that you're seeing here are your brand new colours that you're getting there. Oh, look at these. These are beautiful. Not the best one to open, Adam, but juicy little pads that you're getting there as well. The colours on them are absolutely stunning.
Yeah, and by the way, one of the things that we mentioned, the color of the actual pad that you can see it, some of them are very accurate description, like not the top of the sticker. The sticker is quite accurate. It's the actual pad, you know, with the felt. That can be a little bit deceiving sometimes. So this one in particular isn't, but some of them are. So just make sure that don't be fooled by the actual color that of the pad. Just think that when you stamp it, it will be more closer to the sticker on the top.
They're juicy pads as well, aren't
they
they?
are, absolutely. And they have been designed for long-lasting impressions. It's that ink pad, that fine detail, that crisp color, also drying enough time to blend, to use embossing powder, but also the other thing that you can do is, of course, put some pigments if you want it, but it will dry, that you don't have to use a heat set to set it up.
Let me show you Paula's board rather than my splodges on the back of my work. It looks a lot prettier than mine. Adam's work, Paula's work. Absolutely beautiful. All the colourways that you've got here as well. And go for your colours. Go on, Paula, I'm going to put you on the spot. What 3 would you choose?
Right, so I was thinking that since we have got these beautiful colours and we have got clear embossing powder, that would work with the black. But I'm going to show it with the colours because it's exactly the same pad, isn't it? It's just that different colours. So I have it. Of course, I tend to put mine in order because I just think it's just the look. I mean, what annoys me, though, I have to say, there are 2 more options of colours, and this kind of bothers me a little bit. But still, it is a beautiful, think of beautiful. So, one of the things you have said, and I completely agree, is going for the colours that you like. So, for instance, if you like purples, go for purples. And then, what I would say, or if you like greens, go for greens. Now, for instance, you know, Adam, what's your favorite colour? I have asked you this one before, but you didn't really answer.
See, I vary with the change. I change like the weather.
Right now.
At the moment, it's sort of the Christmas. It's the reds, the greens that I'm going for at the moment, and sort of the icy blues.
Okay, well, for instance, if you are crafting for Christmas, and you did say that you were stamping for wrapping paper.
Wrapping paper. My wrapping
this would
papers.
be perfect.
This is what this is what I've bought. Obviously, I've only bought little ones because I was like you. I didn't really know where to go or what to do. I know I work here, but I'm still like you. I still don't know. So I've bought little tiny versafine clays just to test it.
Probably if they are tiny, they will be versafine, which because and they are more muted colors. They are more vintage, which they're working very well. Personally, versafine clay are the larger pads, and they are clair, which by the way in French means clear, not clear, lighter. And the colors are not, because the first versafine were more inspired by more vintage colors, and then they brought this reformulation which they could bring lighter colors. Now, for instance, you're talking about Christmas, so traditional glamorous would be a really, I tend to put a sticker that I do myself. So we can do, for instance, Shady Lane is a good kind of vintage, or maybe a brand, you know, kind of green. So maybe what we could do is kind of go in, and then we have got that color, and look at this beautiful impression. Nice. So now I can go in with my clear embossing powder, and this is when social distancing really is difficult.
I know, because I can't help you in the slightest.
So I'm putting the embossing powder. I'm not going to heat emboss it until I have done more of the stamping. Now I'm going to go in and I kind of clean my stamp. And this is why a stamping cleaner is good, because you can do this without risking it. But I'm live on air, so I'm kind of gonna go in quickly. Then I'm going with Glamorous, and you can see in here that it's a really lovely Christmas color red.
That's nice.
And then what other colors? So you say an icy blue. I think Christmas also, Golden Meadow is kind of
Golden Meadow.
It's not a metallic, but it has got like a sort of yellow tone. So when you look at them, that is a proper Christmas palette, isn't it?
I like Golden Meadow. I also like Warm Breeze.
Oh, Warm Breeze, that's one of my favorites.
Love Warm Breeze.
Golden Meadow is one of those ones that is deceiving. When you open it, you're thinking that's not the right color. But you can see here, this is the right color, and it's between that color and the top color. So it is actually, it is a kind of more an ochre, a green, a near yellow.
Nice.
So when you put it in here, then you kind of go in there. Look, can you see that kind of, and it's a golden sort of tone to it, of course, Golden Meadow. And then I kind of remove it. So I have got that in here. And of course, I use the clear embossing pad. And then I'm using my heat gun, which is from Ranger. And I was showing before it. This is the one that I have had, I don't know how many years, 15 years, I don't know. I genuinely have forgotten. Now, of course, it used to be white. And now it's, of course, a little bit tatty, hence why the black one makes a lot of sense to go. And then I'm going to
look at this vibrancy coming through now.
Okay. And then move along as it does. I'm not the world's best embosser, I will admit that. But look at this.
That's nice.
And this is why you want to have clear embossing pads with those colors in there as well. Now, for instance, now I'm going to ask the people in my head, what's your favorite color? Blue. And then director, I was going to call your nickname, but better not. Sorry? Oh, so basically, so we are going cold. We are going cold.
Says a lot about the people in our ear, to be fair.
Right. So our director has gone straight from Twilight.
I like that Twilight colour.
And then, now she's, of course, Charlotte is going to choose one.
Warm Breeze.
Oh, that's a beautiful one. So, and then Molly, which one do you want? Orange.
Summertime.
Summertime. Wow. I mean, so can I suggest something? Now, for instance, if I was me, I would think that,
You'd change them.
well, you know, these three, I would actually say these two really nice together. And then I would go, these two I love together.
Nice.
And then that one. Or this one. Can you say, no, this one, okay.
Golden
then
Meadow.
These two, now what does it need? You have got high contrast, so we need something in between. So what about putting
the
a
orange
purple?
and the twilight, it's quite autumnal, Halloween, fall, that sort of look you've got going to
And the reason why I have gone there is because blue and orange are opposites. So kind of thinking, what is between? So it would be either red or a purple blue. So that kind of works in. Here, I'm kind of one in for a kind of contrasting colors in here. Shall I stamp them out so you can see the colors?
Yeah,
I won't emboss them, but I will stamp them out.
We've got 5 minutes, go on.
Okay, so we have got time. So
remember, we've got stamps on the show as well. If you want some stamps, we've got those on the show. I'm contracted to tell you about them. We have got stamps on the show. You can see them all behind me. There's loads on there. Big size stamps as well. These are not your little stamps. These are huge stamps is what you're looking at. They're absolutely stunning. With all your flowers in there as well. It's well worth having a little look. Give you a little flash. Steady, ladies. We'll show you on the website, is where I'll show you. Let's flash up the website just so you can have a little look. £16.99 is what you're looking at. They're all around that mark as well, so you really can't go wrong. £16.99 for your sets of stamps, and you get a lot of stamps in there. 11, 12, 15 in some of them, 17 in a few of them as well. Eyes down, look in. It's a bingo. Then you've got your clear stamps in there, and then you've also got your bugs as well. Right, and let's go back to Paula and stamping with the colours.
Right, so here I have got, you can see it here, this is Twilight. Isn't that beautiful?
That's nice.
It's really dark, and the director likes it, so I'm all happy about it.
Would you say Twilight, if you're not a black person, if you're not a black fan, Twilight is the next best thing, because it's like a warm black?
You know what? It's a very good option to go for that. If you want alternatives to black, I would say Twilight, Morning Mist, and probably Fallen Leaves. That would give you a kind of a grey and a darker brown, and of course that darker blue. So that is an option. So if you like vintage and you want to go to more subtles, these three options would work really well. But look at that. I adore that Monarch. It's a darker purple as well. So if you want a lighter purple, you go for maybe Fantasia, which is a bluey purple, or maybe Purple Delight. Purple Delight would be a lighter purple in them. So you have got the options. Think about what's your favorite color. You could go, for instance, if you are a purpley person and you want to, so you could go for Monarch, Chianti, which is a dark purple. You can see it here. And then you have got Purple Delight. So that is a really, really nice one in here. And now, which one was the last one here? So I had the orange one here, Summertime, and then kind of go in. Now, the other thing I have done, sorry, is this in the ways?
No, we can see.
What I have done is I have put some of the stamp cleaner solution onto my rag, and then I'm cleaning my stamps when I kind of poke them out. Oh, sorry, I didn't clean it properly, but you can see still the color there coming in. So what I'm doing is cleaning it up and then drawing it out. So that should work now next time, but you can see that. Now, shall I do the lighter colors in here?
Yeah.
Shall I do, instead of golden, shall I go for yellow?
Yeah, because we've seen the golden in the other
Absolutely, so that's why.
So this is cheerful.
Yeah, oh, it is cheerful. And then kind of going in. This is the way that I like to stamp actually at home, is take my ink pad to the stamp. And I tend to have my ink pads upside down all the time, but not because of anything, just because that's easier for me to hold them. The other thing that versafine did is, we only have got a couple.
We got 2, 3, 4, 5, we've got 2 minutes.
You can see here, when I put them together, the difference between Golden Meadow and of course cheerful, which is a proper
It is more of a
yellow.
golden colour, Golden Meadow, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It's like gold colour.
So now I'm going to go in Charming Pink. By the way, Tsukineko, they were the first they were the first company that developed pigment inks in 1982 for the craft market, because they used to be dye-based for office and things like that. And they are a company with decades of reputations, based in Japan. They started in 1952, and they, of course, Japan has got these high-end calligraphy inks background, so they know about paints, they know about pigments. And this is what you are getting, a premium brand that has got decades of experience in delivering pigments. And
it's a premium brand, but not at a premium price. You're paying not over the nose. You're paying for 3 of these is what you're getting, £14.97. And these are inks that all the professionals use as well. These are not just for your beginners. These are for you people at home, and these, you'll see our Paula using them, our Leonie using them, our Julia using them as well, who's coming up in the next hour. Yeah. Everyone uses these inks. They're a remarkable thing. Thank you, Paula. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Absolutely. So now we need to answer some emails.
Now we need to go and type on emails. We are getting them all printed out. Do not worry. We will send them to you. It may take me a few hours and take Paula a few hours, but we will get them to you eventually by the end of the day today. Fingers crossed. If not, just email us, studio@hochanda.com, and someone will forward you a link somewhere along the line. Bro, we will, fingers crossed, I'll get them all to you out this afternoon. 168707 is your item number for your ink pads, £14.97. We've only got 27 seconds left, and then it's time for another show, but jump to the website is what I was actually meant to say. Jump to the website, everything's on there. Start checking out your baskets. We are very, very busy. And there's also phone call. Oh, there's a queue on the phone. Oh, I'm done this hour. Really am.